Hey, this is Paul with MakeUseOf.com, and as part of our ongoing CES 2023 presentation, we are looking at MSI's booth. They've got some very exciting new laptops, so today we're going to be checking them out. So starting with MSI's design booth, we have some very new exciting laptops that we're going to learn about today.
This is a all business laptops here, and also we have a content creation lined up there. So what is the special for the new Prestige 13 Evo? It is so lightweight. Why the material is very light is used the magnesium aluminum alloy. So it's very thin and light, but it's not very plastic-ish. And it's an Evo certified, so this is a performance with Iris and Intel's Evos.
We get the fast charging, long battery life, and fast boot time.
So it's a 75-watt battery life. And you can actually feel it. It's actually the same weight as the laptop itself. And also there have two colors. There's a carbon gray and also the pure white.
On our left-hand side here for I/O, we have our power, HDMI, two USB-C Thunderbolt, as well as our audio jack. And then on our right-hand side, that's where we have a full-size USB, an additional USB-C Thunderbolt, and a micro SD card slot. We've also got the very nice array of webcams at the top, which also includes Tobii Aware. So that allows us to have, in addition to Tobii Aware, our webcam also supports Windows Hello login.
Yeah.
So for additional safety, we actually have a physical shutter close, which allows us to completely close the shutter, blocking it, and we have an indicator showing that it is closed right now. So in addition to this being your power button, this also doubles as your fingerprint sensor at the very top there. So with USB-C charging, what kind of charging speeds can we get, and what kind of battery life can we get out of the 13-inch?
1.5 hours, you can get the fully charging. So it's roughly a 16 hours battery life. Also, we have a full lineup, the 14-inch and 16-inch Evo, and those are with the edge processor, because normally ultra thin and light is only have a P or U processor, but this time we have an Evo certified, but also with the edge processor. So we're balancing between the performance and mobility for sure. And if you're doing some creative jobs, so you want to do more rendering stuff, we also have a discrete graphic card option for the RTX 40 series. It can go up to RTX 4060 graphics card.
And the other thing is, although this is going to be a little bit heavier and a little bit bigger, we do get a much larger screen. And again, one of the main selling features is that this now offers discrete graphics card. On our left-hand side for I/O, we have our full-size HDMI, two USB-C Thunderbolts, and unlike the previous 13-inch, we actually have a physical shutter disconnect on the right-hand side, and what that's actually going to do is completely disconnect power from our webcam. Before moving on to the side, we do have a different location for the fingerprint sensor. You'll notice that it's actually located to the right of your trackpad. For some users, they may prefer that, so it is located right there. Likewise, we do still have the same IR sensor supporting Windows Hello, as well as Tobii Aware features at the top. On the right-hand side, we do have a good selection of I/O. We now have two full-size USB ports, as well as a micro SD card, and we still have an audio jack. The 16, the 14, and the 13 do support the 180-degree hinge. So if you want to lay this completely flat on a table, whether you're doing it for a presentation, you just want to get the additional viewing angles, you're actually able to flip with just the touch of a button your screen, so that way, again, if you're presenting something to someone, you can easily do so with the laptop. Something that we've seen as a trend is the switch from the 16:9 aspect ratio all the way to the nice golden ratio, as MSI calls it, the 16:10. Just appreciate how thin those bezels are, nearly going to the very bottom of the screen there, just giving us a lot more room to see everything that we're working on. Now we're going to move on to our Creator Series, starting with the Z17.
The Z17 HX Studio, it actually comes with the CNC aluminum chassis. So it's a unibody chassis, and also you can lay flat. You actually have HX processor inside, and also RTX 4070.
Of course, that means it's going to be a larger, heavier laptop, but you'll notice how they taper the sides of the edges here, allowing it to just appear to be a little bit more slim than it really is, even with the USB and the full-size HDMI ports. With its partnership with SteelSeries, the other benefit that you get moving into the Creator Series is the per-key lighting, which you can customize in MSI Center. Likewise, we still have the biometric login with the fingerprint on the right-hand side. So we have two very large downward firing speakers, and you'll also notice that there is a grill on the side, allowing for more of that sound to escape. For our ports on the right-hand side, have our full-size HDMI, a full-size USB, and a full-size SD card. On the left-hand side, we have our full-size USB, two USB-C Thunderbolts, as well as our audio jack.
To keep it like optimized performance with the RTX and also the HX processor, this is a vapor chamber, which is the cooling we use for the Creator series. You can see there is like two big fans, and also here is like the vapor chambers you can see. And it's covered about like 50% of the motherboard. This is a touchscreen panel, but also this is also support the pen touch as well. So you can see we can write everything, and this is use the MPP 2.6 by the Microsoft technology. So you actually can switch different brush to have like different type of haptic feedback.
So using the same pen, we can write on our screen, and in moments be writing on a notebook, and that's absolutely insane.
This is the Z16, which is the smaller version of the 17-inch Z16. 17.
So if you want something maybe a little bit lighter, a little bit more portable, you can also get very similar performance, just in a smaller body. So now we're in the lab.
The first one, the Raider GE78HX. This one, actually, we are demo the smart touchpad technology, and this is the prototype. If you're using it, it will be like smart touchpad. So from this one, you can actually program it. And also, if you turn it off, you don't want to use it as a smart touchpad, you just want a regular touchpad, it's fine. You can just turn it off. And at this size, you have this huge size of the touchpad. Yeah.
We still have a physical click here.
So if you're gamers and then maybe they want like an emoji, here, or like you will just like disconnect your like the webcam stuff, you can do it. And if you're like if you're like a creators, you want to do like the quick like programming about this to get like hotkeys, and also you can just do it here.
And then moving on, I think this is probably going to be one of the more popular laptops.
It's still 16. So we have two colors. So the white ones actually have like a more like yellowish design of it.
For ports, on our left-hand side, this is the first time we're seeing it, but we've actually got LAN. We have a full-size HDMI, micro SD, and our first USB-C Thunderbolt. So on our right-hand side, we have the charging port, a full-size USB, another Thunderbolt 3 USB-C. We also have our audio jack.
Because many people complain about like a laptop, it doesn't have a really good like speakers. But now we are improving. We actually work with an engineer, like sound engineer, to improve that. This one we have a 6 speaker. So front, and also on the rear and on the side. So this is the Stealth 14. So we have the 2 colors available. So this is the white one. There's this brand new like art design of our chassis. Also, there is a Star Blue version. Even though it's like a 14-inch small form factor, we actually have a very good cooling because you have to squeeze in RTX 4070 and also with i7 processors. So you can see again, this is a vapor chamber. And this is also cover the half of like 50% of the motherboard. And it's also easy to upgrade. You can see all your like memory, and also you can see there's like
the Wi-Fi chip. And then again, this is where we can actually see those how large the speakers are as well.
This is a Raider GE78HX, so this is using the 13980 HX processor. So now it's only 2 vendors have these processors. The performance is actually very good, and this is our top in the line. For GE, we always give like RGB to the optimize. So you can see here is the crazy lighting.
It looks very retro.
Retro,
yes. But very futuristic at the same time.
Yes, it is. And also the logo, you can see this is RGB again.
And even the logo on the back. So same thing, we've got our nice per key lighting as well on our keyboard. Starting with the left-hand side, we have USB-C Thunderbolt, we have a full-size SD card slot, and we have our audio jack. Unlike all our other laptops, this is the first one we're actually going to look at the back because this makes the return of ports on the back. This is where we have our LAN, we have a full-size HDMI, an additional USB-C Thunderbolt, and its charging port on the very end. On the right-hand side, this is where we have two additional full-size USB ports as well as USB-C Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So a laptop like this would be a better desktop replacement just with the additional ports that it does support.
Normally, like the design, the cooling, they only have like a dedicated heat pipes for the GPU and CPU. But for this time, we are doing the shareable heat pipe. So we add like two extra heat pipes shareable. So when your when your CPU is idling and you're using all your GPU power, then actually they will just share. They put all the thermal power to your GPU, so it can cool down soon and the performance can go up. And also the VRAM, there's another heat pipe for the VRAM, so it actually helps. So another thing is about the gallery. We are going to introduce a new ID design of our new MSI laptops.
All right, so let's see what we've got first.
Yes.
This looks brand new.
It is. It's a new to MSI family. It's called Cybro. It actually has a translucent design of it. You can see the back. And also it shows that MSI True Gaming.
For $999, you are getting the RTX 4060 with an i7 processor and 8 gigabytes of RAM to start. Of course, you're also getting that 144 hertz refresh rate, full HD, 15.6 display. And while it doesn't have any additional effects, we do have the backlight keyboard, which does support on or off for that nice blue effect. Likewise, another very unique thing that you're probably noticing are the keys themselves, where we continue that translucent design with the WASD keys, which is also found on our power button as well. We have a little bump at the top, and that's where we're featuring our webcam. And then starting on our left-hand side, we have our Kensington lock, we have a full-size USB, and we have our audio jack. On the right-hand side, that's where we have our power adapter, we have LAN, full-size HDMI, a USB-C Thunderbolt, and another full-size USB.
So this is the Stealth 14, so you can see all the design. There's like a RGB keyboard, and also you can see the back.
So again, this is what we saw a little bit earlier, but now we're going to be taking a deeper dive.
So it is come with a 13 Gen i7 processor, and also it can go up to RTX 4070, and the starting price is $1599. So the material is again with the same with a Prestige 13 Evo, so it's a magnesium aluminum alloy design.
So for security, we also have the webcam physical shutter similar to the ones we've seen previous. Again, I think the Stealth series has one of the more unique designs, not just with the Stealth logo on the back, but just again, look how the hinge when it opens has a little bit of an edge to the back there, just making it look a little bit more unique than the typical ones that we see on the market right now. Yet we are still able to, with this gaming laptop, completely open 180 degrees. For ports, we have our charging, full-size HDMI, USB-C Thunderbolt. And then on our right-hand side, that's where we have an additional USB-C Thunderbolt, a full-size HDMI, and our audio jack.
So this is a Stealth 16 Studio. Price start with the $1999. This is also with the RTX 4070 and also the 13 Gen i9.
Unlike the smaller 14-inch, has the ability to go all the way up to an i9 processor.
And this is all difference about the backside design. You can see there's like a mirrorish kind of stuff, and also the Stealth, the name of the products.
For ports, on the left-hand side, we have LAN, we have full-size HDMI, micro SD card, and a USB-C Thunderbolt.
Yes.
On the right-hand side, we have our power, we have a full-size USB, another USB-C Thunderbolt, and an audio jack. So when deciding between the 14-inch and the 16-inch, aside from the larger display, the other things you should consider are, do you want an i9 processor, and do you want the better audio performance that the larger 16 provides?
Look, this is a Raider GE68HX. So you can see it's a smaller version of the previous like you see in another room. So it still feels like a desktop replacement.
So if you're willing to sacrifice and go down to a 4070, you do get a much more portable design that's still relatively slim, and I think looks extremely good, again, with that very unique LED bar at the front there.
We also have like the 2-in-1 flipbook, and we have a full lineup for Evo version. They have like 13-inch, 14-inch, and 16-inch over there. For the 13-inch one, we have the 2 colors. So this is a pure white. We also have an ink black. So the ink black have like a gold chain on the side, and this is actually more taller for like the business users and or like enterprise users. So beside Windows Hello, we have a Toffee Aware, which is eye tracking technology, and also we have the TPM 2.0 supported. Even this is a flip book, but we also have like the discrete graphics. It can go up to RTX 4060 graphics card. In order to keep it like good performance, we also have improved our thermal too. It's a dynamic cooler boost. Here is modern. There have 3 colors options over here, and the starting price is around like $800. And also this is the 15-inch modern 15. So this is a Star Blue. It's a bit darker than the Stealth 14. So it's go with the i5 and up to like i7 processor. And also you can see even this is the budget laptops. It actually have a full I/O port. We have a total like 3 Type 8 and 1 Type C.
That's been our coverage of MSI's laptop lineup at CES 2023. They've got a lot of exciting new models and refreshed designs that we'll be reviewing soon. But that's not all. They also had a lot more to share, including gaming desktops, monitors, and believe it or not, routers too. So you can learn more about all their 2023 releases by checking out the articles linked in the description. This has been Paul with MakeUseOf.com, and until the next one, we'll catch you later.